This is from the Draft Network. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, JOK, facing a make-or-break season in 2023. Appeared to have played outside his element at times while attempting to cover for defensive mishaps elsewhere. Should be more assignment-focused under Schwartz. Schwartz system typically allows starting linebackers to showcase their sideline-to-sideline range. Under Schwartz direction, JOK should be granted the opportunity to recapture the playmaking ability he displayed as a rookie. I think even more important than that, he was injured a little bit, and he was trying to avoid defensive linemen that were getting thrown at him by offensive linemen pretty much all season. And he's undersized, so that's really problematic for him.
Yeah, I agree with some of their assessments there. Some of it he was trying to make up for some other things. But what are you going to do when a defensive tackle's placed in your lap? You know, there's really not much you can do with that. But sometimes it goes beyond that because of the way he approaches the game, especially in the run game. He likes to evade blockers. And sometimes he can make guys look silly in doing so. But it also at times takes him a longer path to get to the ball and takes him out of the rush lane. And that's when you get gashed. So I think there needs to be a part of his game where he needs to, instead of evade every time, like that's definitely a tool that he needs to use, but it can't be what you do every play. You need to take on contact every now and again just to maintain your rush lane integrity, to let someone else make a play, because you're not always going to make it. And that's the dirty business of being a linebacker. You know, that sometimes you just got to sacrifice that. And, you know, if you're an offensive coordinator kind of looking at what he does, you know your guards want to get up to the second level, you know, and if you're looking at a guy who's listed at 220, but he doesn't look 220 to me, they're going to want to get hands on him, you know, so that's going to be a focal point. So he's got to prove that he can do that. And if he proves that he can do that, you know, he has all the other skills, all the other intangibles, you know, especially as a pass defender. You know, he's twitchy. He has great instincts. He can be more versatile than they've actually let him be. They've kind of just placed him at will and not moved him around. I think Schwartz is going to have a little more fun with him than past regimes had.
Yeah, I'm with you. Schwartz is a guy that likes to find matchups, and he should be a mismatch. He's a guy that if you want to put somebody that's kind of has problem with his footwork, he should make him pay for it.
Yeah, I refer to it as weaponizing. He is a player that you can weaponize. He's got to be one of those guys that when the quarterback comes to the line, he has to identify where 28 is and if he's coming or staying. You know, like that unpredictability and that kind of wild card that you could have on a defense really affects how the offense approaches you. You know, and that's what they need to have with JOK. You can't just limit him to a certain role. You got to let him do a little bit more than he has been doing. And I think that from a physical standpoint, he can do those things. Can he stay consistent? You know, if he can be consistent, the Browns could have a weapon on their hands.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and it may change game plan specific. There are certain ways you can use him against certain teams.